Welcome to the Fantasy Football Forge. My name is Steve, and woo. Fantasy alert, fantasy alert. DeAndre Hopkins has become a member officially of the Tennessee Titans, a landing spot I did not necessarily want for him. Overview picture of this and my thoughts. I'll get into specific positions and the impacts that it has on my rankings, what it looked like when I went and updated my projections for the Tennessee Titans. But overview thoughts are just that I am more confident in the offense now. So confidence level for some players may have gone up, but it also really complicates the situation. I felt really good about the opportunity for Treylon Burks. Not so much anymore. Jump cut, honestly, I realized I forgot to look at Treylon Burks and do some updates for him as far as my rankings go. And so I lost track of where I was in this recording. So my overall thoughts on this offense are that I am less happy, less confident. It throws a wrench into things. I really thought that Treylon Burks was going to be a target of mine, and I guess we can just start with him. As far as my projections go, he went from being ranked 42nd down to 49th, and when it comes to my rankings, I have him ranked 35th right now. I have not changed that because I have him one spot above Michael Pittman. Probably will have to move him behind Michael Pittman now, but man, the quarterback situation, the amount of passes, I don't know, it might be equal between the two. Still probably feel a little bit better about the quarterback situation for Tennessee than Indianapolis as far as the passing game goes. Then we have Jordan Addison, so now they're both kind of in a similar situation, being the number 2 guys on their teams with a solid opportunity. Minnesota offense is probably going to be more pass heavy, well, for sure. But Treylon Burks should be somebody who, he's coming into his second year. He's not a rookie, so there isn't that kind of additional risk. So it's tough. Right now, I have Treylon Burks ranked 35th, kept it that way. He could go back to about 41st, I would say, behind, or like 40th behind Michael Thomas in my rankings would be, so like, 5 spots or so is kind of where I'm looking at dropping him back to. Other players on this offense, Kyle Phillips becomes undraftable because Nick Westbrook-Ikhine is going to be the slot. He's the best slot receiver on the team right now. So the first moment that I hear really good news about Kyle Phillips outperforming Nick Westbrook-Ikhine specifically, and like he's targeting, might be the starter, I'll put him back on my targets list as far as drafting him really late in a best ball type of format. Probably would take him off of that list if you had him there. Just might not see the field a whole lot now. Then DeAndre Hopkins himself, he's not a huge A-dot guy currently in his career. It's been a lot of volume that's really gotten him to where he is, at least based off of last year's numbers. So I'm not overly excited about this destination because it is a run-first team. Still a lot of potential. I don't think he'll be as good as like A.J. Brown was in this offense a couple of years back, for instance. I did give him a 28.5% target share, very close to the target share that he had in Arizona last season. Not quite as much, but like within 1%. And he still came out to being 26th in my projections because of his ADOT and the amount of anticipated passes per game there. So I had DeAndre Hopkins ranked 24th in my rankings for the wide receiver position, and I'm going to hold on to him there. That's 1 spot behind Deebo Samuel, 2 spots behind Calvin Ridley. I think I would like to keep Calvin Ridley higher than him, but Deebo Samuel is a guy who you could easily see DeAndre jumping up to 23rd, but I don't know. I don't know that I'm super excited about the destination for fantasy purposes for DeAndre Hopkins. Not that I think he'll be bad, just more like a wide receiver 2 than a wide receiver 1 in fantasy football. Nick Westbrook-Ikhine, I don't really have any changes or thoughts for him. Not going to really change my rankings on him. Wasn't somebody I'm going to be targeting, taking in drafts anyways. Derrick Henry did have some impact because of how anemic this wide receiver core was. I did have him with an increased role in the receiving game. but I reduced that back down to just about where he was last season. And so that took him down a little bit in my projections. It moved him back one spot behind Josh Jacobs in my projections. However, I do feel more confident in this offense, as I said, so I feel more confident in the amount of opportunities for touchdowns that Derrick Henry will now have. That's kind of where I believe he was 4th in my projections, and now he's 5th. That's where I had him ranked all the way back in 9th place, one spot behind JT. Sorry, I almost said Jonathan Taylor because Jonathan Taylor Thomas, 90s kids. Every time I see JT, that's what jumps into my head. So Jonathan Taylor had him one spot behind Jonathan Taylor in my rankings. I actually moved him up one spot ahead of JT, expecting this offense to be just more efficient overall, get in the red zone more touchdown opportunities, whereas the Indianapolis offense, I'm still concerned about how well they're going to be able to drive the field, how regularly that's going to be a thing for them. It definitely could be, but I think there's more risk there now than Tennessee. So that's the reason for that jump. And I believe last up on this list is Chigoziem Okonkwo, who in my projections fell from 10th down to 12th place. I had him ranked 13th, and I'm actually not going to be changing that for now. However, my confidence in him has definitely gone way down. He was the end of a tier at tight end 13, the tier where these were the guys who I still want as a tight end kind of targeting, and he was really a target on there because I thought he could outperform that. My projections liked him better than that. Although I'm not moving him, I have moved the line for that tier, and now he is at the top of the next tier, very much at risk of falling back a few spots from tight end 13 down to tight end 16, where currently Cole Kmet resides, so he would be behind Cole Kmet if I were to, I guess is where I foresee the lowest of having him ranked. I just think consistency now is a bigger issue for him. Game plan's not going to be, he's not going to have as many plays dialed up on purpose to get the ball in his hands, because he is that kind of weapon. That's what you're going to do. But now you have DeAndre Hopkins, who's going to take up a good portion of the target share. You're not going to have to rely on getting creative as often, and so just less confident in that situation overall. And yeah, that it looks like for the most part that's what it did to my rankings for these guys. I don't know, it's a much messier situation for the Tennessee Titans now. Let me know what you think where he should be ranked. Am I too low on DeAndre Hopkins? I think that's the big one where I won't be surprised if people are higher than that on him. But the passing volume's just not that great for the Tennessee Titans. And that's it. Just wanted to get a video out here. Peace out. I'll see you in a video tomorrow. My Mock Draft Monday video.